Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We're here now joined by our mental health therapist and counselor, Michelle with Silver Lining Mental Health Counseling. That's the name of the company. It's Michelle with 2 L's, Silver Lining. And she's actually based where I used to live out in Queens. I love it. She's a local gal. Michelle, how do we pronounce your last name? Ilyayev?
Perfect.
Perfect. Michelle Ilyayev is joining us here live on the show, and want to point out that she's here to talk more about the work she's doing as a licensed mental health counselor. So welcome. Please introduce yourself to everyone.
First off, thank you for having me. It means a lot to be on this platform and just, spreading my story. So thank you for having me. My name is Michelle Ilyayev. I am a licensed mental health counselor. I'm also finishing up my PhD in mental health counseling. And I'm here to share my story. So I am in a wheelchair, as you could see. About a year and a half ago, I, like a really smart person, decided to go sit on the ledge on the balcony. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. So the balcony was about 2 stories high. The ledge seemed inviting. It wasn't so high. And what happened was I overestimated the amount of room that I had, and I just went flopping back. Landed on my midsection of my back, which is the thoracic, which is involved in everything pretty much waist down. So upon the fall, I was instantly paraplegic, which means paralyzed waist down. And that occurred in Mexico. Then I had about 24 hours to get to New York and have an emergency surgery because I wasn't going to have it in Mexico. I wanted to get it in New York. And that took about a good almost 25 hours to find somebody who can come and actually, last minute fly me back.
Did you fly back? Did you get a medevac or?
Yeah, so a company called Hatsala, they came for the sheer fact that I'm Jewish.
Oh, God bless.
And it's a Jewish organization, and I was really blessed in that sense. I didn't care who came, but somebody came and they really came through. And I do really want to say thank you to you guys while I'm at it. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't know if I've even possibly be here. So thank you guys. And they just asked for donations, and it was great. But other than that, I went to Long Island. I had my spine fused from about T9 to L3. So that's pretty much majority of the back, like mid back to all the way down to the lumbar. And they stabilized it, which was good. But now I had to, come to the rest of my, I guess, cognition that I'm stable, but now I'm paralyzed. So it's a good thing that I'm alive, but how am I going to deal with my new life now?
And by the way, how many years ago was this?
This was a year and a half ago. I'm sorry if I didn't mention that.
No, maybe I missed. Maybe I didn't hear, but okay. So it's still recently new. First and foremost, I mean, I give you so much strength and the courage, and I'm so commend you on all that you have. That you're here, and now you're willing. You're not only healing yourself, which this is not a difficult thing, but now you're helping heal others. So I commend you on that and doing what you do and not giving up the fight. And thank you. And clearly, Silver Lining. I'm assuming that's how did you name the company?
That's my pillow. Silver Lining. No, the company came out way before, and this wasn't my first fall, so to say. And I've had trauma. I've had instances where I was at rock bottom. not once, not twice, but a couple of times. And that's life. That is what it is. And through the pain, I found my silver lining, because without the pain, there wouldn't have been any helping others out. I wouldn't be able to, there's nothing to explore. There's no pain. I'm good. So why am I going to go inspire others?
Mm-hmm.
So for that sheer fact, there's a silver lining. And there's a silver lining actually in my story as well. People tell me, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. I really apologize. I can imagine you were like this before, or life must have been so much better. And I can't say that it was. I really can't say that it was. Even if there isn't meaning and purpose aligned with the stars, or if, I'm not here, if God, whether or not I'm here, if God gave me meaning or purpose, or wherever it came from, or whether it's sheerly the fact that I'm creating it, there is meaning and purpose here in my story. And my meaning and purpose is to share my story.
Yeah.
And to get other people to get going, and to understand that, first off, don't listen to anybody when they tell you that you can't do it. You listen to yourself, and you try as hard as you can, as often as you can, as much as you can, without killing yourself. So there's a balance there, right? Like, am I doing enough, or am I barely doing it? I have days like that too, where I know I need
Days that you want to give up.
I know I need to be training, but I want to give up. I have days where I go, this is my home, actually. It's turned into
Your exercise room. And
exercises, yeah. So
do you mind me asking, do you live alone? Are you?
I live with my 7-year-old daughter.
Okay.
She's Michaela.
Mm-hmm.
And she is the apple of my eye. And I'm very fortunate to have her. She's a huge motivational factor for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's paid off to have her.
And she helps you, right? I have a 6 and 8-year-old, I know, but I could only imagine she just loves her mommy. I could imagine, right?
And surprisingly, she hasn't taken it as bad as people think she would have, because I was just honest with her.
Yeah.
I kept her in the loop, and it's to the point where now she goes, "Mommy, breathe. You're gonna walk. You're just not patient. You need to wait. It's gonna take time, Mommy. I mean, it's not gonna happen like this."
Goosebumps to have that motivation from that little princess. Oh my gosh. And that's what inspires you day in, day out. What a blessing. What a blessing.
This is her.
Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. So sassy with mom's glasses on.
She's mom. But the best.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So yeah, going back. So I went to, as soon as I got fused, I'm like, okay, well, I'm back together, Humpty Dumpty, but there's no functionality, there's no sensation, I can't feel anything, I can't move, I'm frozen. Okay, doctor, do you think I'm ever going to move? Do you think there's a possibility that I can maybe get better somehow? You're most likely not. Okay, that's one doctor. I'm asking another doctor. Name it. Every type of specialist, every type of doctor. Is there any chance? Is there a slight chance? It was a no from the beginning. And I'm getting a little emotional about this because it was also a no where I went to rehab for 3 months. Mm-hmm. It was every day me asking the same question, and every day it's never going to happen. And to kill people's hope like that, like that is something else. The disability itself, I could have dealt with. The hopelessness, not really. That was a double-edged sword. So, point of me being here today is not to share my sob story, but is to inspire. I know that sometimes life seems hopeless. And I know that sometimes there's you can't see the light because there's so much static.
Dark. There's so much
dark. My motivation was my daughter. Every one of us has a motivation. I don't know what shape, form, color, size, texture it comes in, but we all have a reason to live. Everyone is a mother, a daughter, a sister, a worker. We have a woman, a man. We have children, dogs, pets, whatever it is. We all have some sort of sense of meaning, purpose, and obligation to be the best versions of ourselves. We have other people, other things, whatever. People, the universe is watching. So if I gave up, which I was very inclined to, then I can't leave my kid without a mother. I can't leave my mom without a daughter. I can't leave my family without, I can't do that. I wanted to, would it have been much easier? Yeah. Did I want to wake up another day in my life, in my body? No. But I was like, shit, like I don't have another choice right now. Okay. So I'm sitting in the rehab, where I went to go, I guess, where they try to show me like how to reintegrate back into my home or reality once I'm out of the rehab. So like basic living things, basic ADLs, living activities every day. So as I'm sitting there and I'm in rehab and I'm thinking to myself, this is going to take some time. This is going to take some time. I told myself it's not going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of time. Okay. What else do I know? I know that the statistics are 6%. I know that my doctors told me that I was complete. I know that they came into the room with 12 people in it. Most of them interns or residents, telling me you're completely severed. It was the deciphering fact of whether I'm going to get better or not was if I'm completely severed or not. So it's like somebody saying you have cancer, you're malignant, or you're benign.
Yeah.
And so they told me that I'm complete in front of random strangers. I was like, okay. And then they leave. And of course, I'm heartbroken. It was also like a little bit after COVID, so not a lot of visitors were allowed. So after they leave, I'm like, I am going to need to process this with somebody. Like, anybody? We're in a hospital. Like, psychiatric services thrown at me, social work, barely. Nurses obviously needed, doctors needed, I guess. But where's the mental health aspect? Like, this is a trauma center for people who have lost their, or who are paralyzed. Where's the mental health? I need to process this with somebody. What do you mean I'm complete? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, what does this all mean? Yeah. And then I'm looking around and there's like 4 walls and I'm like, can I please speak to somebody? Like, I'm a mental health professional. I know I need to speak to somebody. And there's no one there. And I'm asking the staff, and I'm asking, this is at Mount Sinai, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. And in the city, and you would think that they would have someone. And there was a psychologist, but she was phenomenal. But there was only one of her. And like
how many
people
patients
on the unit. So she would come by maybe 20 minutes, 2 times a week. Great insight, great, great. Thank you for dropping little gems on me. But now I really need somebody consistently. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their rationale is, but maybe you don't need to throw as much drugs in people's face if you help them sort things out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this would be kind of like mind, body, and soul, as we know that one cannot happen.
Or have a holistic approach, combining Eastern, Western medicine in a sense, do the medical thing, but at the same time, you know what? There are alternatives. There is hope. There's other people out there that may be able to help. Where's that inspiration? Where's someone who's going to help me? Because I know someone can help me.
So the culture of the hospital depends on the person who's running it. Now, this person has been there, Dr. Bryce, for about umpteen years, past 50. And, the culture is stoic, hopeless. I'd have to say negative, combative. It was to the point where he was arguing with me. So for example, if my toe moved, he goes, "Oh, well, that's involuntary. That doesn't count. That's just like a reaction." But how about some movement is better than no movement? How about that? Or how about if you work really, really hard, Michelle, you can get to wherever you want to go, or as closely as you want to be. I don't know. You show me. These are, I'm speechless. I'm really, really speechless and my mom had to literally kick him out of the room every time he would come in. And the residents are under him, and the nurses are, the physical therapists. So the culture of the environment is now contaminated through this one person's rigid, antiquated methods. You don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. Evidence-based practice now is showing us that motivational, interviewing and motivation needs to be changed in the spinal cord world, because it's such a negative prognosis that they give. That's not necessarily true. That's relying on this medical model that was created literally maybe 60 to 70 years ago. And it's interesting because they don't do, I want to test, I'm finishing on my PhD, and I do want to test the validity of these types of studies. They don't check post injury. I know so many people who have gotten better and who have got out of paralysis, and there's no follow-up. What are these numbers going off of? And the exam that they tell you, to test whether you're complete or incomplete, it's called an Asia exam. That exam is also antiquated from many, many moons ago and is not reliable. So what's going on? Why is there's now a lot of research. Now there's, movement. But I really feel like in and of, being disabled, I'm discriminated within my own population. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. Gosh, you need the support. You need people who can help you and guide you. And there is hope. I think there's always hope, Michelle. And you need to be around people who are going to be like that. And the same type of inspiration you're giving your clients with what you do, you are hope to them. And have you found some people that are giving you some more hope, Michelle?
I absolutely have. And if they weren't around, they're around now. And if they were around, they're not in my life. So So I am creating the environment that I need to thrive. And whether or not it's most days, most nights on my own, I'm okay with that because I'm working on my business. I'm working on my PhD. I'm spending time with my daughter. I'm doing things that I wasn't really doing before. I was going out a lot more before, prior to the accident. I wasn't really, there wasn't a lot of introspection, and there wasn't really a lot of meaning. And there's just so many great things that are coming out of this. And I'm really excited. I'm grateful, and I'm excited to where this is going to go. I've been on other podcasts recently. There's been a lot of exposure, which is great. That's the goal.
Of course.
And each one of them have kind of like a different theme and a different story. And like there's another topic at hand, but then I kind of somehow collaborate and like shove it into the story as well, into like what happened to me. And it's been working out. So like I have a podcast on renting homes. So I do the psychology of renting homes. Buying homes, I apologize. So like decision making and like all of that stuff. So like, because I'm a psychologist as well. And then kind of like my story and how people relate to the world, or like just seeing different lenses of life through tragedy.
Wow. You are inspiring. Yeah, and I know you're here on a healing journey to help others, to help yourself, but at the same time, this could be, I feel it, amazing. You may end up with your own talk show, like to really get people worldwide to, I mean, it's such a devastating but inspiring story, not to discredit that, but what you have inside of you, that fire to walk again, that fire to love your daughter, that fire to help others. It just emanates right here through us. And I feel your energy, and I commend you so much. And, it's not easy. I could only imagine. And can I just ask as a personal question? And I'm going to be honest, like as an outsider, right? I don't know you, you meet someone and they may notice what we'll call a disability.
Right.
What do you hate about it? What do they say to you that makes you uncomfortable? What would you prefer someone say? Not say anything, or just because how do you approach someone who has a disability that you want to make feel better, but then you're also feeling awkward? And what would you prefer? Just, hey, how are you? Or, you know what I'm saying? Because it's got to get annoying for people to question you and question how you feel and question what, just.
So surprisingly, okay, going back, one annoying thing that people do is, you're so pretty.
Well, that you are though. So you can't, okay. You are gorgeous. So but okay, go ahead.
Well, like, don't worry, but you're so pretty.
Oh,
you know I mean? Like at least you got something going on for you.
Got it. I would feel so. Got it.
No, so in that sense, I'm like, okay.
I'd rather be able to walk than to be pretty.
Exactly.
Does looks really matter? No.
My mom goes, who needs legs when you don't have a brain?
Well, she's a doll. That is, she's so cute. But okay.
So,
yeah.
So no, that's one thing that annoys me. But believe it or not, like I've kind of been thinking about like people's reactions to this, obviously, and whether it's from friends, family, or strangers, it's all been very, like standoffish. Believe it or not, people don't want to make me feel uncomfortable.
So they don't engage as much.
However, you not speaking is literally like the elephant in the
volumes. Room. Yes. So they're scared to engage because they don't know how to approach, which just, and I'm just me. Like, I'm just Michelle, like, love me, be my friend. Got it.
Like I could see someone like you being like, hey, so, tell me what's going on. How did this, because you seem inquisitive by nature, and like
I just love people, and I love your stories. And
but a lot of people are not, a lot of people don't open doors.
Are you kidding me?
I'll be like, are you serious right now? Like, I'll say like, wow.
That just says so much about mankind and people, even in general. I have an issue with New York City where I used to work all the time, and people just rude. Going into the local CVS, they slam the door. I just don't like New York Cityites sometimes. No offense. And I used to
No,
work
no,
there. I
no,
live on Long Island myself now, but like
not
that's
taking-
hard. And are you just curious? Are you in a one-story building?
No,
Are you in an apartment building? Elevator?
I own a home.
Okay.
So they built a lift.
Got it.
A lift to get me in and out of the house.
And do you drive? Because they do.
Not yet. So I know that they do. But there's progress.
Yeah.
There's progress, and I don't know how bad this is going to sound, but I'm going to say it. I'm not going to integrate myself into a community that I'm not planning on being in.
Got it.
I'm going to be there. I know what it's like to be there. I'm probably mentally going to be there forever, but I don't plan on submitting into, everything wheelchair accessible and this and that. And
no limitations for you. You are you
are
awesome.
And there has been progress, and that's because I worked my butt off, and I trained. And I want to go back to how did I do this mentally?
Oh gosh, we have to go. We're out of time. I'm so
okay.
How does this happen? I'm so sorry. We're so deep in conversation. We're out of time in a minute. I apologize.
It's okay. It's completely okay. Can I just speak about Silver Linings?
Yes. Tell us.
The name of my business is Silver Lining. It's called Michelle Silver Lining Mental Health Counseling. And we accept all insurances. We're currently in New York and Florida. We have all types of clinicians, child psychologists, family therapists, couples counseling, individual therapy, name it. We got it. We have availability. It's telehealth. The process is really seamless, and please come here.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
One second. The website is www.michellesilverlining.com. Thank you.
Beautiful. Looking forward to our next round together. Thank you for inspiring me and our listeners. And we're going to talk more about her personal journey, but then also about how she's helping others. And it just makes me say, oh my gosh, you're an amazing human being to sit here and to not give up hope, not to inspire. And some people in your condition would just sit home and cry, rot, maybe want to hurt themselves. You are, and you have your bad days, but you are so inspirational. And God bless you and your daughter. And there's a reason why you're here and doing what you're doing. And I'm excited to have you here and to see you do more amazing things with your life. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.